Hello everyone and welcome in this Skype interview with the one and only Steve Kaufmann. Now I have been following Steve for many years here on YouTube and finally have the chance today to talk to him. I was watching one of his videos yesterday and I saw a Brazilian guy who left a comment and he wrote, it was in Portuguese, but he said, when I grow up I want to be like Steve Kaufmann. And I thought, that's exactly what I've been thinking for all these years. How old are you, Steve? 70, 72?
71.
71.
Well, I'm in the second year, but still 71. I'll be 72 in October.
71 years old and you're still very active in, well, you do many things. You travel, you're still learning languages, you run Link, of course. I think you still play ice hockey, is that correct?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And you managed to learn 6 languages after your 60s.
Yeah.
Where did you get all this motivation from?
First of all, I should say that every one of us is one and only. Okay, let's just be very clear on that. We can all do whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
But it's strange. Like during my professional career, I was a diplomat for the first 7 years, and my first assignment was to go to Hong Kong to learn Mandarin Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
So I got interested. I knew that the Department of Trade and Commerce, as it was called, was planning to train someone up in Chinese because Canada was about to recognize the People's Republic of China.
Yeah.
So I got very keen and I started taking lessons in Ottawa. And then I let them know, if you're looking for someone to go to Hong Kong, I'm your man because I'm actually interested in it. Mm-hmm. And from that perspective, why wouldn't they choose someone who was motivated?
Yeah.
And then, motivation is such a big part of language learning.
Yeah.
And then I lived in Japan, of course. And then it's like anything else. If you discover that you can do something,
exactly,
then you want to do more of it, right?
Yeah,
if you meet with failure, then you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important in language learning that people learn in a way that they're going to find enjoyable. Yeah. That's going to make sure that they stay with the task.
Yeah.
Because most people, if they stay with it, they're going to succeed. Yeah. And if they succeed, they're going to want to do more of it.
Exactly. I had the exact same feeling. After learning Mandarin, I was like, if I can learn Mandarin, then I probably can also learn Cantonese or maybe even French. And then once you have the motivation, you know you can do it. Exactly. And you had the same feeling.
Yeah, but the first one is the biggest hurdle. And for me, the first one was French. Because we had French at school. Nobody learned it. No one could speak French. And then I got turned on by a professor of French civilization, French culture, which got me totally turned on. And then I eventually went to France where I studied for 3 years. Yeah. But I realized that I can sort of convert myself into someone who is a fluent speaker of another language. Mm-hmm. Once I knew that was possible, just like you're saying with Mandarin, well, I can do it again.
Yeah, even after your 60s.
Well, yeah, I mean, after because we had Link and I discovered, like the MP3 player, all the stuff that has revolutionized language learning, the MP3 player, the online dictionary, the availability of resources, when I wanted to do something with it. And I had always wanted to tackle Russian because as a teenager, I had read Russian novels in translation. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool to be able to read, Anna Karenina in Russian? And the other challenge was some people said, well, Steve, you always say you learn languages without totally focusing on grammar. That might work for Chinese, which has a rather essentially straight structure. I mean, it's mysteries to Chinese grammar, but that will never work with Russian.
Yeah.
But it was a challenge. So I said, oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
So that was the motivation. And, of course, the tools were there because you could buy audiobooks. You could get, go to Gutenberg.com and download the e-text version of Anna Karenina, and then there's online dictionaries or Link. You just go down and you listen and you read.
So obviously these days we have many more resources, and of course we have Link, we have the internet, YouTube, but don't you have the feeling that you forget more things, or that you feel that you're not as good as memorizing words? My father, for example, is 63 this year, and he speaks some English, and now he wanted to learn Spanish, and he tried to learn it, and he said, I'm gonna give up because I keep forgetting all these words, I'm too old for that. Don't you have that? Don't you experience that you're not as good in memorizing vocabulary, for example, than 20 or 30 years ago?
Well, a few comments on that. First of all, I have no sense that I'm worse today than I was before, but it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, we all forget. Like language learning is about forgetting.
Mm-hmm.
As I always say, if I look something up in a dictionary, no sooner do I close the dictionary than I have already forgotten what that thing was. That's how quickly we forget things.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, if we take Ukrainian, for example, which is my most recent sort of language that I'm concentrating on, I'm constantly, like, I speak to my Ukrainian tutor, and she gives me, I use a word incorrectly, and she says what it is. I get it wrong right away again. Like, right away. I just heard it. I can't
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Happens to all of us.
Yeah. So language learning is a process of forgetting, relearning, forgetting, relearning. You just have to stay with it.
Yeah.
Now, question about whether as an older person did I remember better when I was 20? I have no idea. It's like people saying, well, some people are more talented than others. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, however talented, untalented, older, it doesn't matter. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Some may learn faster, some may remember better, some may pronounce better.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. If you enjoy doing it, as I do, I get tremendous enjoyment. I posted my most recent conversation with my Ukrainian tutor.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that I speak better than I did a month ago. I understand better. I read my Ukrainian, I'm reading now a history of the city of Lviv. I tried reading it 2 months ago. I couldn't make head or tail of it. And now I'm reading it. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Maybe there's people out there like Luca. He's better than I am. No question. The guy's at that's the slightest.
Yeah.
Luca goes to a place he's never been to and he speaks the language in a day or two. Good for him. That doesn't discourage me.